Hey there everyone, Hanyu here, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1 Onikakushi. The last episode, we kind of killed our friends. Yeah, it wasn't a good episode. But you know, they were kind of trying to kill us, so self-defense. Doesn't make it any better, but yeah. Kill or be killed. Dog eat dog, etc., etc. Like I said, it doesn't make the situation any better. And now we're running from our lives from a group of adults who were going to be coming to kill us. To make sure we died, I guess. I don't know. Whatever the whole frickin' thing is. The whole situation just fucking sucks. Keiichi, you had it good up until the Watanagashi. And then it suddenly was like you were on a fucking roller coaster. It's like you reached the top of the roller coaster, and then it's just all downhill from there. Yeah, so... yeah. Carrying on, I had to run. Get out of here, Keiichi. One after the other, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence, those things you use when you have time to spare, spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forehead. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. It probably had no complaints whatsoever. So, of course, I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran. Just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was without a doubt chasing me like a shadow. If I took even one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. So I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. I ran at full speed. Quack, 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 quack. Okay. Why did they even bother saying that when there's the audio of the birds chirping? Anyway. That was the chirping of the Higurashi. Okay. Kind of sounds like there's a bird mixed in there too, but whatever. Chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening. Trying to tell me something, and then I finally heard it. The wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. Dude, we're talking about cicadas here. They don't know anything. I get the whole mentality you're in right now and everything like that, but... I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps. But the farther I ran, the farther away their chirping became. I couldn't get near them. Why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? Then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. 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 I felt that Only the Higurashi knew. No. Never mind. I was gonna say, I think I might have been wrong about how soon the ending was coming, but there's another achievement, which means there's only 2 achievements left, and one of them is the end, and one is the after party. So, we're definitely getting near the end. The smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise. Excuse me. But it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco was about 1/10 of the municipality's revenue. We were the most heavily taxed members of this municipality, so I really wished they'd show us a little more respect. Why would you discard the five manzu there? It's just decreasing your options. One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the mahjong magazine called Next Turn. You're still in tenpai if you cut the 5 manzu. If you're betting on a haite, then shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? I don't know. Freaking mahjong terms. My grandma used to play mahjong. I never really understood it. You match tiles and stuff like that, right? That's as far as I can get, but that's as far as I know, but I might be wrong, because, again, I've never really played it, so. If you're, yeah. Kuma-chan, look at the pond. They all discarded a 5 manzu. It's a safe tile. You'd hate if at endgame someone was sitting on a tenpai on the last turn, wouldn't you? The kid let out another groan, put out his cigarette, and then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? By the way, I can't call Ron with your winning tile in that haite. What? Why is that? Just then I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? You have a call from a civilian. Oh, ain't that something? Well, see you soon. Why can't you call Ron on it? Hold on for a second, Oishi-san. The man sitting in the seat Oishi-san was heading towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line from a payphone. Oh, why thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oishi. Who is it? Ah, Oishi-san. Hello. If it isn't Maebara-san, why good evening. From the tone Maebara-kun's voice, That should be from the tone of Maebara-kun's voice. I already knew he was in a predicament. This was the first time Maebara-kun had phoned me, and he was calling from a payphone. Please, calm down. Did something happen? Well... Ah! His voice was erratic over the line. He had completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. What happened? Calm down, Maebara-san. I have the local officer... I can have the local officer head to your location. I'll be there soon, too. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people even as he was making this call, was he? Maebara-san, you're calling from a payphone right now, right? Where's that payphone? There was no other sound beside Maebara-kun's voice. It had to be a phone booth. I scratched out a note and thrust it at my colleague sitting across from me. Hinamizawa phone booth. He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines. Calm down, Maebara-san. What is your current situation? It usually wasn't a good idea to tell someone panicking to do so, but this was not a usual case. Maebara-kun didn't just get in trouble. Get away and call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now, but yelling at Maebara-kun right now would just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. Maebara-kun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. And whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. My colleague pushed a note in front of me. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. A patrol car is on the way. 5 minutes. That's too long. How many officers are in there? 2. Not enough. If it was as I imagined, there were likely quite a few people surrounding Maebara-kun. 5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer stationed in Hinamizawa? He's scheduled to be on patrol. They're currently out, and it'll be impossible to contact them. God damn. Kuma-chan, bring the car around. Understood. Hello? Oishi-san? Hello? It's alright. I can hear you loud and clear. There was something wrong with Maebara-san. Maebara-kun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. Vomiting? Or was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured? Maebara-san, the police are on their way. They'll be there in a couple of minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Maebara-san! I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. The worst possible situation popped into my head. Maebara-san, who is the culprit? How many are there? I thought at first the culprit was human. I couldn't tell if if that was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright, Maebara-san? I thought that the culprit was a person and not Oyashiro-sama's curse up until right now, but I guess in the end it was an intense bout of coughing, then vomiting, but I guess Oyashiro-sama does exist. No, he's here. Maebara-san, please just calm down. Please calm down. I had been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run and run and run, but it just sticks to me like a shadow, like my shadow. But slowly, so slowly, it's digging itself into my back. Maibara-san, are they, right now, perhaps, right behind you? Behind me? Right behind me. Please, Maibara-san, I can tell you're scared, but please. Who is it that's right behind you? I can't just look behind me. If I do, I'll... I understand that you're scared, but please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who is behind you, Maibara-san? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmarish sound. Maibara-san. It couldn't be that you're clawing out your own throat. There was no answer. But I could hear something like scratching. There was a bang as if something was being hit. Maibara-kun had probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting over the other end and a repeating abnormal noise. Hello? Hello? Maibara-san! Hello? I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment, I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to someone there? Hello? Maibara-san? Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. I focused my senses, trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep. Suddenly the line went dead. Did he use up his time? It was because it was a payphone. Ah. It was because it cut out so abruptly. The last thing he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san, the car is good to go. Oishi-san? It was... I'm sorry. Oishi-san? That's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. I had a gut feeling, and there was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. I should have been able to hear them at this entire time. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Were they trying to tell me something? Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. July 1983. In Hinamizawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder. The suspect called over his two female classmates to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. Scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the second floor of his house. And inside the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were signs of struggle in the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. Really wishing it wouldn't auto-progress stuff like this. At the entranceway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong blunt force. It is believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. Having no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. Possibility that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, then thrown aside. It's hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus a reason for this remains unknown. In the kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart and the contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn in the surrounding area, and handprints believed belonging to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had, for some reason, taken out the garbage and struck it with his fists. The reason for this remained unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words "Where was there a needle?" was written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered. Through the garage door, though the garage door was functional, it had been left open ever since the suspect moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamizawa Local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious and critical condition. He was rushed to a local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. Well, GG, man. The result of the autopsy indicates the immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock. Determined the suspect had clawed out his own throat with his fingernails, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With similarities to the death of Tomitake-san the prior week, the police believe there to be a connection and have opened an investigation. However, due to the wishes of local authorities, it will be confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomitake-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, the case is being treated as an act committed on impulse. However, there are several accounts of suspects' behavior leading up to... Don't go so fast! Suspects were separated from the group of his friends, isolation, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behavior as well as talking to himself at school. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to the circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse. Afterwards, a note was found in the suspect's room that he had written himself. The note was written on two sheets of B5 college-ruled notebook. To try to conceal it, was stuck behind a clock on the wall. Contents are written in the appendix. Police believe it to be strongly related to the incident, and the police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive and premeditated? Development's case has been labeled unresolved. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on two halves of B5 from two separate sheets, but originally a single sheet of paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. Judging from the size of the letter, it was missing a section. The missing section estimated 2 to 3 lines. It was probably the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from the traces of large quantities of cell phone tape, something other than the note was stuck there, had arisen. Person who first discovered the crime was a detective, rumored to have a connection with the incident. Uishi he underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. Suspect's note. I am in fear for my life. I do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Rena and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. Everything below has been ripped out. This is from the second sheet. Everything above had been ripped out. I have no idea why it has become like this. If you are reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though the only difference may be the presence or lack of a body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. This is my only desire. That is my only desire. Keiichi Maebara. Now it gives me the option to progress as I will. Well, shit. All cast review session has become available. To play it, select extra from the menu. Please uncover the truth. Well, I'll be honest. I wasn't really expecting him to die, but at the same time, I was more than expecting him to die. I guess the fact that the part of me that wasn't expecting him to die was like, there's a whole bunch of more games in the series. Maybe something, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe the other games of the franchise take place during different times that this took place. Maybe they all run together, or maybe it's all a continuation. I don't know. We're gonna find out eventually. But yeah, the end. So if you enjoyed this, please consider leaving it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. And I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from Higurashi, because I honestly think doing Higurashi right after doing Danganronpa was a mistake. Kind of burned me out on the whole horror mystery thing going on right here. But I don't know. Maybe it's a lack of interaction with the story. That's also kind of like... But, we'll see. I do plan on playing the rest of them, but it's just going to be a little bit. Yeah. So, again, if you enjoyed this, leave it a like. And until next time, everybody, hopefully I'm back from my vacation by now, but if not, I'll see you when I get back. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Joyous Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Yule. Yeah, so I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.